Kim, why are you doing that over there? Hi, hello, Internet! I'm HamsterBomb.
And I'm Timothy.
And you guys are back for another episode of Pokedex Paradox, the show where we go through the Pokedex, find a bunch of ridiculous Pokedex entries, and talk about either the crazy science or the stupid things that are being contradicted inside.
We've got a dumb one for you today. Or a lot of dumb ones.
Yes. We like doing little menagerie episodes every once in a while where we mix in a bunch of smaller Pokemon entries that say really funny or weird things that go together in a group. Kind of like how we did the race.
This was also kind of inspired by Discord again. We got in
Yes.
another entry.
So over on Discord, you guys are able to send us your voted top preferred Pokedex entries you want to see us do. This has one of them in it, and it got us thinking, aren't there more like this?
And there definitely
And
are.
there were. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the low point of our series. We are having an entire episode dedicated to the most amazing burps and farts.
And you thought Mudsdale and Mudspray was bad.
You thought a whole episode about eating poop was bad? You were wrong. Because we can and will outdo ourselves at every opportunity.
So the
That
first
was
amazing farter that I think we're going to be talking about
yikes.
today was the one that was actually brought to us from Discord.
Yes.
And we've elaborated on more other things. So it is Chimchar.
Yes, because we're going to be talking about burps and farts. First off, we're talking about le farts first.
Le farts.
Le farts. So, why this even needed an episode, I'm not sure, but it's because we were originally going to put some of these into a You're Not Special theme, kind of like how we did before with our other menagerie. But the thing is, these burps and farts
they're
are
spectacular.
so incredible, they need their own discussion.
Exactly.
So, let's look at these first off, starting with Chimchar, as we mentioned. Now, Chimchar, as we mentioned, was the first one that was brought to us by Discord. So I'm going to read Pearl's entry. Its fiery rear end is fueled by gas made in its belly. Even rain can't extinguish the fire. Now, ignore the even rain can't extinguish the fire thing, because
if it's a
rain can't extinguish most fires.
Right, most fires rain does not extinguish.
Whatever, that's nothing. So, unless it's like a tiny little smoldering thing that's like about to be put out, yeah, the rain might stop it. So, other than that, no, not a big deal. But it said its fiery rear end is fueled by gas made in its belly. So we all have gas that's made in our belly.
It turns into methane.
It turns into methane. The thing is, that's actually the byproduct of bacteria living in your gut.
So it's technically not your own fart.
So, and as we know, methane is flammable.
Of course.
So, the thing that makes this so ridiculous, though, is the fact that it keeps it going. He's not like Cyndaquil or Typhlosion, where it's burning sometimes, where he...
Really
and then he stops. No, it's always burning.
He's always got it.
Which means it can't just be, because that's it flapping together, right? It's got to be more like... It's got to sound like a burner. It's a gas line.
It's gonna like jet rocket.
It's a gas line.
It is a gas line.
It's a gas line.
I just think about the skin around his butthole if it's constantly lit on fire.
Why do I want to think about that?
Because it has to be coated in something.
I feel so bad for the Pokemon veterinarians now.
Like it's got to be coated. I'm scared for just about anybody who has this Pokemon. It's just that has to smell horrible.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't smelled it's got to be awful.
A fire. A
completely
fart lit on fire.
A fart lit on fire, which you would think that the fire would actually burn its way into him if it's a constant stream.
So does Chimchar only exist because of his poor diet?
Well, we're getting into weird diets later. But I've got a couple more entries I want to read you before we move on.
Okay.
Here's Platinum. It is very agile. Before going to sleep, it extinguishes the flame on its tail to prevent fires. So here, now we know, like I mentioned, this is voluntary. And let's hope he doesn't do one of those catastrophic sleep farts.
Yeah, could you imagine that sleep fart? Like, whoa!
Well, it wouldn't just wake you up, it would burn your house down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but...
It's adorable when a dog wakes himself up with a fart, but when a Chimchar does
so he voluntarily
it's just
can choose to do this. But the thing is, Maybe that's... So it sounds like is before going to sleep, he's doing it in order to prevent fires, which means he understands and can voluntarily shut this off.
But he doesn't. He likes
doesn't.
The farting.
He lets
and the
her
gassy all the time.
He can make, based on how long he is awake, he can hold a steady and consistent fart for the entire day. Yeah. That is amazing.
That's like 12 hours at least.
Wow. I almost envy him, but at the same time, I would have a serious gastrointestinal problem if I were able to.
You would not
match
feel
that feat.
very good at all.
No.
All of that gas in there. Can you imagine, like, even if you're just feeling a little bloated, you're like, I don't feel good at all. And he's bloated and gassy all the time.
Well, this thing, he's not really bloated. He's a tiny little monkey. Another weird thing, heart gold, still silver. The gas made in its belly burns from its rear end. The fire burns weakly when it feels sick. Which, isn't that backwards?
That's the opposite. That's totally the opposite when I'm sick. You know, you're firing out both ends. It's not good.
So he'd be shooting fire out both ends?
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
how does that work?
If you say
he has to breathe fire,
say you teach him flamethrower, does he shoot it out of his mouth?
No, now I'm imagining he just turns around and really lets one rip.
Which means he's been holding back.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now, what's really weird, like, I don't understand about this monkey, is because he's so obviously farting. They flat out say this is gas in his belly, it's coming out of his butt. Okay, so, yeah, it's fiery rear end. It's for sure, he's farting.
Every Dex entry saying he is farting.
If that's the case, how come when he evolves to Monferno, the fire's on his tail, and then when he turns to Infernape, it's burning on his head? What happened to the farting problem?
His butthole moved.
His butthole moved. Whoa.
I don't even want to get into that.
That's not where I was going with that.
Yeah.
I was more thinking, like, you know, if I had just looked at Infernape and thought, hey, this is actually supposed to be like a Tiki Pokemon, if the whole line was supposed to reference that, I would probably have a whole new appreciation for this Pokemon. But instead, I hate Chimchar.
No.
I hate Chimchar. He's so stupid. He's a farting monkey. But, I mean, I'm sure some people just love the farting monkey, but I'm sorry, like...
He's a farting monkey.
The crude fart jokes can only go so far, and...
Oh, but we made a whole episode out of the crude fart
Not
jokes.
voluntarily, we have so many other Pokemon we gotta cover here, but still, like, I would have really liked it, well, aside from the also fact that he's yet another firefighting Pokemon.
Could you imagine having to cuddle up to that for warmth? I feel like monkeys are known for their poop, but he takes it to a whole new extreme. Like,
yes. Though, I'm pretty sure he doesn't smell nearly as bad as the other Pokemon in our episode we have today.
That's very true. I think
much worse.
Probably, because he's at least lighting it on fire, maybe it just smells like a burning sensation.
Right.
So our next one's gotta smell like the dumps.
Yeah, it's gonna smell absolutely horrible. But the thing is, like, here, I'm still thinking of, like, how can Chimchar even function? Because here, like... In all honesty, there's no way, because the Pokedex says he's doing this. I'm still trying to figure that part out.
It says that he is doing it.
It says he's doing this.
He is definitely farting.
But if he is, there's no way he can actually get that much air or fuel
inside of himself
through it's got to be through his system, because he can't, in his tiny little belly, he can't be sending all of it out that quickly. He would go out like a whoopee cushion immediately. He can't even be instantly breathing it in like a bird.
Okay,
you know how birds, their lungs are circular? Right. So they're always kind of inhaling and always kind of exhaling. So maybe if he was constantly breathing in through his nostrils and shooting it out the back.
So here's my theory. So if he's awake for like 12 hours at a time, during the night, maybe he has some weird bacteria in his stomach that just sits out. So, like, in the morning, he's this giant bloated monkey.
So you think he builds up his fuel overnight?
Yes. And then as the day goes on, he slowly just compresses and shrinks.
So you're saying he's really like a giant orb when you wake up. He's a ball.
Yeah.
Like the size of a house.
Because he's been holding in all that gas that he would normally just
That's my problem with him. Yeah, he can't retain his size. He would die. But... I really don't understand how he could possibly work, and I don't really want to research that much on farts to figure it out. So...
Since we got a menagerie of a bunch of different things...
Yes, I think it's safe we move on. Like I said, I think everyone else would smell worse. At the very least, Chimchar has the courtesy of being fire type and lighting his own farts for us.
Yeah, that's a courtesy.
Otherwise, imagine what he would be like if he didn't.
Ugh.
Wait. Does Monferno and Infernape still fart the same amount, but they just don't burn it? All right,
they are monkeys.
They are monkeys, but that's the most intense monkey I've ever heard of. We should move on.
We should move on.
What stinks more? I think Trubbish stinks more.
That is a garbage bag.
That's a bag of garbage.
But he doesn't
Your
stink.
Pokemon is garbage.
He doesn't stink for the reasons that you're probably thinking, that he's just a pile of garbage.
Well, you would think he would smell because he just eats garbage and is garbage. He is a sentient life form that has come to life because of your garbage. And then he eats more garbage and then creates garbage.
You know, it kind of reminds me of this idea of yokais in Japan, like unused objects eventually get a life of their own.
Right. Actually, I think that's where his idea came from. But the thing is, when you bring that to the West, we all just thought, well, this is the dumbest Pokemon ever.
Right.
Well, actually, I have like a secret admiration for Trubbish, and Garbodor. I think they're both like.
We're gonna be talking about both here because they're both bad.
We will talk about
do you want to read the Dex entry?
All right.
Should I read the Dex entry?
Do you want to read some entries?
I'll read some entries.
Go for it. Read us black.
So, here's why he stinks. Inhaling the gas they belch will make you sleep for a week. They prefer unsanitary places.
Well, of course they do. But inhaling the gas they belch will make you sleep for a week. So it'll knock you out.
He is a most amazing burper, is what we're moving on to
The most
here.
amazing burps. Now, yes, he's a gross garbage bag, but that burp, I don't even know, and we're going to get into this later when we're done reading his entries. I don't even know if there's actually a gas out there that can knock you out for a week.
So long.
That's so long.
You're hospitalized.
Yeah, if you didn't go to the hospital, I think you're dead. You're just completely... You can't survive that.
So...
Let's move on. How about Black 2, White 2?
Black 2, White 2. Wanting more garbage, they follow people who litter. They always belch poisonous gas.
They always belch poison gas.
Always do.
Which means that gas that makes you sleep for a week that we just learned about, they're always doing this.
You're being infected with this.
If you're even around it and catch a whiff of this, you could die at any point. And this is Trubbish. It evolves. It gets bigger.
It gets worse.
He gets bigger. Give me, let's see, Moon.
So Moon. It gorges on trash until its stomach is full. Then it belches toxic gas. An unlucky whiff of gas will put a person in the hospital.
Well, now we know. They've said it there. We theorized it.
It actually does send you to the hospital.
It's gonna kill you. Yeah. And of course, it is eating garbage. That's another thing they keep talking about a lot in his entries. He eats trash. He makes trash. He is trash. He's living trash.
You're garbage.
Your Pokemon is garbage. All right, we have 2 more entries. Give me Ultra Sun.
Ultra Sun. Poisonous gas leaks out when it breathes. Muck that catch a whiff of that stench will come drooling.
Oh my god. So, not only is he belching this all the time, if he just breathes.
He breathes now.
His normal breathing is what this is. Will kill you. Or send you to the hospital. If you don't go to the hospital, you're probably going to die. Because we have one more about that. Ultra Moon.
Okay. If a young Pokemon or child breathes in the toxic gas that Trubbish belches out, it could be a life-threatening situation.
Could be.
It is.
It is. If you...
The most amazing burp.
Yeah, if you see your Pokemon are all out to dinner one day and you let them out of their Pokeballs and you got your Squirtle sitting by the Trubbish and all of a sudden Squirtle just kind of keels over... Don't bother with the hospital, he's dead. And you might want to get rid of the Trubbish.
So the biggest question is, what gas is he expelling this whole time?
What is he doing, Kim, and is that even possible?
It was actually very difficult to look up, surprisingly. So...
Well, here, why? Because I would think, just as in what the other people watching us would probably think as well, or listening to this, there are a lot of gases that we would assume that would put people to sleep. I'm thinking, you go get a surgery, you have anesthesia,
right.
And they're knocking you out. So why is he any different?
So what Trubbish is doing is he's just using straight up gas to knock you out, which is a Hollywood fabrication, is what I've learned.
Really?
So, in movies and TV shows, they're like, here's some knockout gas, let's spray that. Well, that doesn't exist.
Right.
It just doesn't exist. And in most
Yeah,
cases...
like just breathing in chloroform.
Right. So, but chloroform, you have to have a physical contact with it.
Right.
It's different. It's not a gas, it's a liquid.
Right.
So,
chloroform's a liquid.
So, the closest things that I could find, hydrogen sulfide gas, is a natural gas that occurs just like in the wild.
Okay.
In
garbage.
And also, I was also reading other places that this would exist and cause you perpetual problems with their Coke laboratories. So.
Oh. What is trubbish?
But nothing says about this gas that would cause you to pass out.
Oh.
So.
It would just
kill you.
It would just kill you.
So
well,
there are a lot of actual jobs that would cause you to be in close proximity to the hydrogen sulfide gas.
Yeah.
But none of it actually makes you pass out. It just gets you really sick and then you die. So.
So is there any gas that can knock you out? You are breathing in his burp and getting knocked out. Forget the sleep for a week thing. What if it's just a little bit? Can you even do that for a little?
No.
Not even a little. So gas is basically, what you're saying is just going to poison you or kill you.
Right. It's going to poison you and eventually kill you, or it's just going to kill you instantly. I mean, there was another theory.
And then poison your corpse.
There was another theory I had about chemical pneumonia, which is where the bacteria in your lungs becomes infected from some kind of chemical gas that you've inhaled.
Uh-huh.
So, but that's over a course of time. You're not passing out immediately. It could take a few days, and you will pass out. But usually by that point, you're probably going to die because you should have gotten medical treatment way before that situation would have happened.
Right.
I mean...
and this is instantaneous.
Right. I feel like we all know how bad pneumonia is.
And burps.
It's just a bad thing you don't want to hear about.
Yeah.
So.
And burps. Ammonia and burps.
So yeah, most chemicals, unfortunately, you have to have direct contact with. Otherwise, you're just gonna get really sick. You're not gonna pass out. But
so we can't physics him either.
You can't really physics the poison that whatever he is letting out is horrible as far as what we know. So maybe people aren't passing out. Maybe people only assumed they were passing out, but they were actually dying. That was my theory on it.
Maybe they're dying and they just don't want to say it. But if that's the case, wherever this Pokemon walks, breathes, everything around it dies.
Yeah, he's just burping all the time.
Is this the most destructive Pokemon ever?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. It really depends on what you consider that, because we have so many Pokemon that are just absolute death.
And there are so many of them. They should.
But this guy's walking death. If you breathe. That's the thing. If you breathe,
prolonged exposure
you're dead.
to this will shorten your life, will cause cancer, you will die.
That's even if it's that gas. Whatever his magical gas is, it kills you.
Yeah, it's some weird magical gas.
So here, we got Gorboder too.
Yeah, and he's mean about it. He is mean.
He is a jerk. Let's read a bit of those
He's
entries.
like your older brother going to beat you up and burps in your face.
Right, he actually does. They say it here. Black. It clenches opponents with its left arm and finishes them off with a foul-smelling poison gas belched from its mouth. That's a bully right there.
That's just a bully move.
That's a bully. But here, it evolved, and it's using that gas that it's belching, and we know what that stuff does.
Right.
That's the most awful way to go.
Right. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, I guess it could be mustard gas where your eyes will start bleeding and stuff.
Well, not just that. I'm not just painful. I'm thinking, is there a worse, more embarrassing way to die? I was clenched by a pile of garbage, and it burped in my face. I don't know, that actually sounds kind of funny now that I say it.
Yeah.
But that's awful.
You would totally die from that. There's just... now, there are gigantic lists of how you can die from gaseous chemicals and stuff like that. I mean, you can bleed out your eyes, you'll lose your vision, you can't breathe anymore. Yeah.
Okay, well, we got a couple more entries. We'll see if you can find any more gems for us here. I have Sun. Beware the poisonous liquid it shoots from its right arm. If even a little of it gets on you, you'll experience the effects of its unidentified toxin.
So now you're telling me, though, that its sweat is poisonous? That's what I'm getting from this.
If that's sweat, I don't know. It's just arm juice. But juice. I love how they set this up, and they're like, you better watch out. If even a little bit of this stuff touches you, then... I don't know. It's not even going to tell you what it is.
Well, Trubbish tells you what happens to you when you deal with
they knew people like us were out there. And they said, unidentified toxin.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. But thing is, we already know what the effects of this toxin are because of Trubbish.
Right.
Trubbish tells you will pass out.
But here's the important thing. That's a liquid version this time.
This is a liquid, like, here
so
you go.
This, in combination with his gas, might actually knock people out for a week.
Which gives us back to that anesthesia thing?
Right,
if
we
didn't even
playing
get
anesthesia.
to talk about that much. So when it comes to anesthesia, they're injecting you first, which is what is actually causing you to like pass out and go to sleep or whatever. It's
Whatever
not really
they call
sleep,
it.
but like then they give you
Count backwards from 10.
Right, they give you the gas which helps oxygenate your blood, and then
right. So whatever they're injecting you with has to go through your blood. It gets in your brain, and then I'm pretty sure the gas is like it's like over oxygenating.
Yeah,
or something like that.
over oxygenates your blood.
Or,
what is that called? Hypo something. I don't know. But like
we didn't spend that much time. It's a burp episode. Give us a break.
But that's what's happening when you go to like a hospital for a surgery. Now, if you go to like a dentist's office, they're giving you a different kind of gas that just makes you like super loopy
and numb.
And like numb.
It's just to numb
You're
pain.
not passing out actually.
No. So yeah, we get it. That's different. But the thing is, Trubbish, he was doing this completely with his burps. He didn't need a liquid like Garbodor is using.
No.
Though I'm assuming Garbodor would have killed you anyway. He evolved. Yeah. He got bigger. He got stronger. He's just going to kill you. So, gross. We have one more Garbodor from Ultra Sun. The Ultra games give us the absolute dumbest ones. Yeah, I love these.
Ones.
It locks opponents in place with its left hand, immobilizing them by entirely dousing their bodies with poisonous liquid. So whatever that stuff is, he's drenching you with it, and you died.
And you died. You did. Every orifice of your body is now being coated with this, so...
Yeah, you might as well have been grabbed with the arm and burped in the face, because at least everyone around who saw it would have had a story to tell.
Right.
This was just been disturbing.
This is just like, grab your head...
You would have just started bleeding out of your eyes and just like shriveling up.
See, now I'm thinking this liquid is like his sweat, and now it's even worse, so...
Oh, you just think it's disgustingly smelling?
Yeah.
But it said poisonous. It said poisonous.
It's poisonous. So our next one is a cute little gem. Well, I wouldn't say cute, but you wouldn't think it would be smelly.
We actually rounded this out into a Burps and Farts episode because of Kim wanting to make an episode of another Pokemon because of scent.
Right.
And we started looking up a couple more and realized that there were some weird entries that were in there about Spritzy and Aromatisse.
They give off wonderful aromas and stuff like that.
You would think so.
So, like, there's a... yeah, this is how it fits into the fart episode. Here it comes.
Remember, we're a fart episode.
The Dex actually describes how it gives us this smell.
Yes, which is the problem. So how about I read these? We got Omega Ruby. It emits a scent that enraptures those who smell it. Here we go. The fragrance changes depending on what it has eaten. You know how to change... you know how to change the smell of a gas that comes out of your body based on what you've eaten?
Yeah, you eat different things.
It's called farting.
It's called farting.
It's called farting. Oh, God. In the past, rather than using perfume, royal ladies carried a spritzy that would waft a fragrance they liked. Which I think is totally ironic because don't old ladies smell like farts all the time?
Yeah.
Now we know why.
It said royal ladies, but okay.
Oh, whatever. The royal family smells like farts.
But the point is,
that's what it said.
Eating something to change its smell, which I'm pretty sure I can do that if I want to eat something particular to make my fart smell particularly awful.
Yeah, based on what kind of flavor of fart I'm going for. I can just change my palate up a little bit, just like Spritzy. And just in case you were still wondering if this truly is the fart, because it is giving off an odor of a gas in some way like, based on what it's eating. So if it's based on what it's eating, what other gas are you giving off when you eat things?
Exactly. Pheromones don't work like that.
Right, it's not a pheromone. We looked that up. We were thinking about going that route, but we couldn't.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't, depending on what you eat, doesn't affect what your pheromones are that you're giving off.
Right, it doesn't make any sense.
No, farting. Farting does.
It's farting. It is farting. Now, the thing is, it evolves. It gets even better.
And its butt gets bigger.
Its butt must get bigger, among other things. Thanks, Kim. All right. We have X and Omega Ruby. It devises various scents, pleasant and unpleasant, and emits scents that its enemies dislike in order to gain an edge in battle.
Yep.
So basically,
It's farting.
it's
on there.
farting all the time because it's like now here. What makes this one so incredible? It can actually choose what flavor of fart it wants you to smell.
Right.
It's in battle, and it's like, ooh, I'm fighting a Pupitar. He looks pretty powerful over there. I think he wouldn't be able to stand a nice whiff of my Chipotle butt.
Right. Well, see, I was also thinking...
Taco Bell carryout coming your way.
I was thinking, oh, maybe they do smell good because they're eating berries all the time, and it's like good fruity things. But you know what happens?
You know what happens when you eat those and digest those?
When you eat them and digest them, the sugars turn to fats, which then produce bacteria in the waste, and then...
As we said before,
you
more
fart.
bacteria, more gas, and worse gas.
And the more sweeter things you're eating, like berries and stuff like that, the more gases you're
Or
gonna produce.
things like candy, which we know there's like Spritzy, or what's it called? Swirlix and Schlurpluff. Just candy.
They taste like candy.
They are candy. We might cover them
From
later, I'm
eating
not sure.
candy. No, I don't even know how to math that
I don't
one.
know. We tried. But anyway, why in Alpha Sapphire? Let's get our last dex entry here. Its scent is so overpowering that unless a trainer happens to really enjoy the smell, he or she will have a hard time walking alongside it. Don't we all have a friend like that?
Who's just like crop dusting all day long?
That's horrible, kid.
That's what it's called, crop dusting.
Yeah,
Dusting the crops.
They smell so bad that unless you just really enjoy it and you can tough it out, then you can go. So, that's awful. So here, because like they mentioned the royal ladies thing. So like basically, some designer tried to convince them, yeah, this is all the rage.
This is the newest scent right now.
The newest scent for sure is aromatisse butt.
They're like purse dogs. I don't know.
Yeah. This is an aromatisse that has a diet of nothing but the McDonald's dollar menu for 12 months. And it could be yours. And the bane of your opponent's existences.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that would be some intense action.
Could you imagine
right
when
there.
it's like trying to fight in battle and it's like, okay, I gotta pull out the worst scent I got, and it actually just has diarrhea instead of farting?
Like, how does it determine this? Does it pull up a catalog of its worst catalog farts, and it's like, am I feeling 2-week-old rotting fish, or am I still feeling?
Does it have multiple rectums?
You know, it might have to, because remember, it devises various scents, pleasant and unpleasant, and emits scents that its enemies dislike in order to gain an edge in battle.
Exactly.
So it is pulling up a menu of its own farts and picking which one is the worst.
So Spritzy does not have this ability to differentiate the
No,
parts.
Spritzy's just bad.
So maybe that's something that happens when it evolves. It gets different.
It gets the catalog.
Lower intestines.
Or many intestines that just keep going like a subway, and it can just hold things in transit until they are required at their destination.
That's why its butt is so big.
Oh, yikes! Mind the gap.
I feel like people are gonna argue with us on this one. They're gonna be like, "It doesn't say it's farting." Okay, you tell me.
No, the Spritzy's totally farting.
You tell me another way that you can change your scent based on what you've eaten, and emit that.
Yeah,
you
right.
have to emit it
Is
too.
the first person who can give us that? Then fine. But still, they are clearly unpleasant scents.
They're not good
It admits to that.
scents.
These are not pleasant scents, and they're coming based on what it's eating. Yeah, that's
They
just
named
disgusting.
it aromatisse too, like it was gonna be a good thing.
Ew, and Spritzy.
Oh,
in case you got a little
Spritzy
wet one in there.
Just a little bit of diarrhea.
Yeah, a little squirt coming
Crop
on.
dusting all day long.
Oh, God. I can stop. Is this episode over yet?
This
I mean,
episode is so immature.
this is so bad. Well, here, you know what? Maybe we've established a new low, and we are not going to go below that.
Awesome. Until I find the next 3 burpers and farters.
The next Pokemon who has a diet of its own poop and pulls things up mountains like we did before. Is there
How
anything...
can you get worse? Okay, we got an episode
I don't
below
know.
that now, which is the most amazing burps and farts.
Yep, we've now established a new low to the Pokedex paradox.
Including, it's lower than talking about eating poop for a half hour.
This is not our fault, though. This is the Pokedex. We're just giving it to you and laughing about it. There wasn't even much science we could talk about here.
No.
I mean, more like say, hey, this isn't possible, But wow, it's impressive.
Right, that's kind of what it is. Like, none of this is
Like,
really
hey,
possible.
that's a continuous fart that lasts all day long and is constantly being burned.
I'm like
wow, that burp can knock you out and put you in the hospital. And wow, this Pokemon can pick a palette of its own farts and pick which one it wants you to enrapture yourself with.
I think we could have, if we wanted to go that route, we could have scienced each one of these, but it would have been a longer episode, and nobody would have wanted to listen to farts and burps for
I don't see how we could have made each one its own episode.
I could talk
anyway.
about the chemical that causes Chimchar's butt to not burn and light on fire.
I don't think I need to know about all of that. I don't think I need to know about all that. All I needed was, you know what? We have a stupid episode where we can at least lump these weird ones together.
What do mucks smell like? If they're
coming
eating
drooling,
trubbish.
yeah, they come drooling when they smell that whatever it was you mentioned, the
poisonous
trubbish burping.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Closest thing I'm going with hydrogen sulfide.
Stop trying here. I don't see any point. It's just gross. But still, at the very least, these kind of things were requested, so now we can lump them together. We did it. We're done. No more burps and farts. Unless, of course, you guys find a bunch more burps and farts. But regardless, as we mentioned, you guys can submit your own ideas for Pokedex Paradox episodes on our Discord page. You can go to the description of this video on YouTube, or you can go to the YouTube channel, and there's links to it there. You can find the Pokedex Paradox page and just send in your own entries that you can find of different Pokemon you want to see an episode of. Let us know what they are. We want to find more of these episodes. Let us know, because we want to know what you want.
Burps and farts.
No more burps and farts. We've done it. We're done. But it was spectacular.
It was spectacular.
It was spectacular. Regardless, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to join us next time for some more game science. Be sure to follow us either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And we will see you all in the next episode of Pokedex Paradox. Bye! Or should I have burped?
That's not a burp.
I tried. Make a burp.
Oh, I don't want to. That's embarrassing.
Come on,
I can do that on command.
You can?